Carl Jung, Stop Chasing Happiness, the Real Purpose of Life. Have you ever noticed that most people in the world seem to be chasing happiness? They try everything they can to avoid pain and suffering and only seek out things which make them feel happy. This is why you see so many people becoming addicted to social media, junk food and pornography. These are all things that make people feel happy in the moment but don't actually bring long-term fulfillment. In fact, Carl Jung actually believed that there was something far more important than happiness that we should all be striving for. So what exactly did he say about it? Well, in this video, we're going to take a look at one of his quotes and break it down so that you can apply his wisdom to your own life. The quote is, "The purpose of life is not to be happy. It is to be useful, to be compassionate, to be honorable, to have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well." Let's get into it. Number 1, the purpose of life is not to be happy. Carl Jung starts off this quote by making a very bold statement. The purpose of life is not to be happy. Now, of course, no one wants to hear this. We all want to be happy, and we all want to think that the purpose of life is to maximize our own pleasure. But that's not what Jung is saying here. Instead, what he means is that if you're constantly focused on trying to feel good or trying to chase away pain, then you are not living a meaningful life. In fact, Jung believed that this type of person would end up being quite empty and unsatisfied with life, even though they may appear to be very happy on the outside. For example, someone who is constantly scrolling through social media is usually doing so to distract themselves from their problems. They might be feeling lonely, bored, or even depressed. But instead of dealing with these issues, they just keep scrolling. The same thing can also be said for people who overindulge in things like junk food, drugs, or alcohol. They might think that these things will make them feel better in the moment, but in reality, they are only masking their underlying problems and preventing them from being solved. And this is why Carl Jung said that the purpose of life is not to be happy, but to be useful, compassionate, and honorable. By focusing on these things instead, we can create a life that is filled with meaning and purpose, even if it also includes a lot of suffering. Number 2, be useful. When Jung says that the purpose of life is to be useful, he doesn't mean that we should all go out and become famous or make a ton of money. Instead, what he means is that we should find ways to contribute to the world around us, no matter how small that contribution may seem. One way to do this is by simply being a good friend or family member. Friends and family members are some of the most important people in our lives, and yet most of us don't spend nearly enough time with them. We get so caught up in our own busy lives that we forget to show the people who love us the most how much we appreciate them. One simple way to be more useful to your friends and family is to just listen to them more. Most of us don't listen to other people very well, but when we truly listen to someone, we are showing them that we care about them and that we are there for them. This can be incredibly useful for the other person, as it shows them that they can always count on you to be there for them. Another way to be more useful is to take care of the people around you. This could mean helping out an elderly neighbor or simply smiling at a stranger. When we take care of others, we are creating a ripple effect that can make the world a better place. This is something that Carl Jung would have definitely agreed with, as he believed that our actions can have a positive impact on the world around us. Number 3, be compassionate. Being compassionate is another very important way that we can be useful to others. Compassion is essentially just being kind and understanding towards other people, even if they have done something that we don't agree with. Most of us have been angry at someone at some point in our lives, but when we hold on to that anger, we are only hurting ourselves. When we are compassionate towards other people, we are able to let go of our anger and resentment and move forward in a positive way. This is something that Carl Jung would have definitely agreed with, as he believed that compassion is one of the most important qualities that a person can have. One way to be more compassionate towards others is to try to see things from their point of view. This can be difficult to do sometimes, but when we make an effort to understand why someone might have acted in a certain way, we are able to forgive them more easily. For example, let's say that you see someone litter on the street. Most of us would probably get angry and tell them to clean it up. However, if we took a moment to understand why they might have done this, we would probably be more compassionate. Maybe they are from a country where littering is not illegal and they don't understand why it is such a big deal. Or maybe they are homeless and don't have a trash bag with them. Either way, if we took the time to understand the situation, we would be able to respond in a much more compassionate way. Number 4, be honorable. The final way that we can be useful to the world around us is by being honorable. Being honorable simply means that we should always try to do the right thing, even when no one is watching. Most of us know what it feels like to be proud of ourselves. It's that feeling we get when we have done something good or accomplished something difficult. But most of us also know what it feels like to be ashamed of ourselves. It's that feeling we get when we have done something bad or failed to do something that we knew we should have done. When we are honorable and do the right thing, we are able to feel proud of ourselves. But when we are dishonorable and do the wrong thing, we are filled with shame. One way to be more honorable is to set standards for yourself and stick to them. For example, you might make a rule for yourself that you will never lie or cheat, even if it would benefit you to do so. You might also set standards for how you treat other people. No matter what, you should always try to be honest, respectful, and kind. By setting these standards for yourself, you will be able to live a life that is filled with honor and integrity. Number 5, have it make some difference that you have lived and lived well. The last part of Jung's quote is perhaps the most important. He says that we should strive to make a difference in the world so that it can be said that we have lived and lived well. This is because, according to Jung, one of the main reasons for human suffering is the feeling that life is meaningless. When we feel that our life is meaningless, we are more likely to give into despair and hopelessness. But when we feel that our life has meaning and that we are making a difference in the world, we are more likely to be hopeful and optimistic. One way to make sure that your life has meaning is by setting goals for yourself. Goals give us something to strive for, and they help us to focus our attention on the positive aspects of life. Another way to make sure that your life has meaning is by being grateful for what you have. When we focus on the negative things in our lives, we are more likely to feel hopeless and despairing. But when we focus on the positive things in our lives and express gratitude for them, we are more likely to feel hopeful and optimistic. There you have it, 5 lessons from Carl Jung on how to live a meaningful life. If you follow these lessons, you can be sure that your life will be filled with purpose, even if it also includes a lot of suffering. So don't worry about being happy all the time. Instead, focus on being useful, compassionate, and honorable. And always remember that your life has meaning, even if you don't feel like it does sometimes. If you agree with Jung that the purpose of life isn't to be happy, then let me know in the comments. And if you like this video, please leave a like. Thanks for watching.